So over the last 3 weeks, I was in Japan on vacation. And usually when I'm on vacation, I usually don't trade, I disconnect. But on that one night, because of DeepSeek, I decided that I had to take a look at the market. And so I decided to trade on that one day. And in those 15 minutes, I was able to make $1,200 day trading while I was in a different country. And the best part about this is I actually could have made another $1,000 or so if I actually wasn't in Japan and was back in the States. And I'll show you guys how you could have made even more money than me on that day. So first, let's take a look at that trade. I traded a $59.95 6,000 put credit spread on SPX 0 DT that expired the same day. For that one credit spread, I collected $230 and I sold around 10 of them, which means that my max profit is $2,300. My max loss would have been $2,700. So if you look at my max return on investment, it would have been around 89% because it would be 2,300 divided by 2,700. And for those of you who are new to how credit spreads work, if SPX ends up above 6,000 at the end of the day, I would have made my max profit of $2,300. If SPX ends up below 59.95, then I'll lose my max loss of $2,700. And we'll talk a little bit more about later on this video, but we'll never risk $2,700. We'll risk around $500 or so to try and make that $2,300. Because I was in Japan, I wasn't going to be trading all night. It was around midnight or 1 a.m. And so 15 minutes later, I decided to close out this trade at $110 a spread, and I realized $1,200 in profits, which means that my actual return on investment was around 45%. So now that we know the trade, let's hop over to the charts so that you guys can visualize how the day panned out with this trade. Here is the SPX chart on January 28th, the day that I took this trade. You see, right when market opened, market gapped up from 6,000 all the way up to 60.27 approximately. The market then abruptly sold off to a low of around 59.94. And then the market then rebounded kind of off of this 50 period moving average and went up, back down, formed a higher low, then formed a higher high, higher low, higher high, right? A very simple day. But if you guys recall, I actually sold a put credit spread at 6,5995, right at the low of the day. And I sold it at 6:50 Eastern time. So right around this candlestick right here. Collected that $230 when I opened this credit spread, which means I'm expecting the market to go up. And in 15 minutes, around 7:04 Eastern time, I exited the trade by buying back and closing that credit spread and realizing that $1,200 of profit. Now, the question is, how did I anticipate that this is going to be the low of the day? And this is where I might sound like a broken record if you guys have seen some of my other videos, but this is where our system, MACS, M-A-C-S, comes into play. M stands for market trend, A stands for area of interest, C stands for criteria of entry, and then S stands for stop loss. So let's take a look at this trade using that philosophy so that you too can replicate this trade every single day and have success day trading. So let's just start with M, our market trend. And in order for us to do that, I like to hop over to daily to understand the long-term trend, and then we'll drop it down to a lower time scale to figure out the short-term trend. And the long-term trend is actually very easy to understand. The market has been in an uptrend for the last year and a half. But if you really want an indicator to tell you that, you just look at the 200 period moving average. In this case, it's 200 day moving average, and it's pointing up. So it's an uptrend. The 50 period moving average is also up. Simply put, long-term trend is up. So if we can, we want to trade in the uptrend because we have a higher chance of winning. However, the short-term trend is also very important because we're day trading. We don't want to be trading on like a pullback here, for example. In order for us to find the short-term trend, I like to drop it down to a lower time scale, either the hour or the 30 minutes. So let's just drop it down to the hour. And the hour, again, you can use your moving indicators to indicate the trends, but there's also another way. And so we'll start with the indicators. 200 period moving average, again, sloping up. The 50 period moving average also sloping up. The trend is up. Another way to understand this is actually really simple. You see there's a low that formed a high, but it formed a lower low here, right? That's not a good signal because then it indicates that there's a lot of selling power. However, the market then continued to push its way all the way up to a higher high, which means that the short-term trend is actually up. Now we have this pullback on Monday, which means that this pullback could very well just be a continuation of the short-term uptrend, which moves us to the second letter, A, area of interest, right? We know we want to trend in the bullish direction if we can. Now we have to find an area where we would be inclined to look for a trade. In order for us to draw areas, we'll drop it down to 30 because we're day trading. So one area here that's pretty obvious is this 59.66 area from the previous day. This is an area of support. Why is this an area of support? Back on Thursday last week, the market sold off, showed some weakness, consolidated, and it pushed up and it broke past that level, right? It tried going up, didn't fail, tried going up, failed, tried going up. It successfully broke through. Right, so this is a potential area of resistance. Now, as the market swung up, swung high, and then retraced back into this area, right? And then you see a lot of buying power right here, which means that this area of resistance turns into an area of support. One more thing. This is also in the 200 period moving average, which historically also acts as supports and resistances. Now we'll extend it to the 28th and we'll see what happens. Now that we know we want to trade into area, what we're looking for is actually a C, a criteria of entry, right? We are looking for something that allows us to trade in a bullish direction. And so for that, we'll drop it down to the 5-minute. And it's actually going to be very simple on this day. When the market opened up and gapped up, it's a good sign. We formed a higher high. So now what we're looking for is the formation of a higher low. See that in this area of support that we mapped out here, that market started stepping in and buying at around 850. And on this candlestick, we'll zoom in here just a little bit. On this candlestick, you can see the market came in, market bought it back up. On the next candlestick, it went down, it went back up, and it closed above. I not only see buying power, but I see sustained buying power because this candlestick has pushed it up and pushed it past its body. And I went in and I sold a put credit spread because it fulfilled my criteria of entry of saying bullish intent. So I basically sold it right at the money, right? 6,595, and I collected 230 bucks. And so the rest of the day is relatively uneventful, went all the way up. But then I exited right here at 9:04 because I had to go to bed. So once it took out the high of the day, I was like, I'm done trading and we're good. So I closed it, exited the trade, and realized my $1,200 profit. Now, this is where S comes in. S is stop loss. S is probably the most important thing you guys have to understand. The best traders are the ones who know how to cut their losses as fast as possible. So if I were to enter this trade, and instead of going all the way up to 6,007, it went all the way back down to 5,9995. The bullish momentum that I was looking for actually didn't occur. An easy way for us to automate this is you take ATR, which is average true range, and we subtract that number from when we entered. So I entered around 6,002, subtract the average true range, which is around 9. So I exit around 5,994, right? If it hits 5,994, then I'm out of this trade, which makes sense, right? Because then market has turned red and I'm out. But if the market continues to go up like it does here, then it's a really easy trade and a really easy way for you to win. So that's basically the trade. Now let's talk about how you guys could have made max profit here. You guys can see the market expired out of the money way past 6,000. I would have made max profit. Really easy way for you to automate this is to do something that I like to call like a dynamic stop loss. If I made $230 on this trade, once it hits 50% unrealized profit, so in this case, $115, then I move my stop loss up to $230, which means that I cannot lose money on this trade, right? And I'll show you guys later on in this video how to set a stop loss. Now, once it hits $60, $55 or so, then you move your stop loss to $115 and you're locking in 50% of gains. And then same thing, once it gets to 12.5%, you move your stop loss up to 25% and you're locking in 75% of realized profits. The reason that this works is because even during these small pullbacks, your credit spreads won't get stopped out. It's only when you have a giant reversal, for example, in this case, instead of it stopping at 60.30, what happens if it went all the way down to 60.10? That's when you will get stopped out and you would exit the trade, either at a profit or at break even. That's how this dynamic stop loss works, is because it gives you enough room to let your winners run. Last thing, we're going to talk about how we can set up these dynamic stop losses. So here we have IBKR. You can do this on Thinkorswim as well. I don't have an SPX credit spread open right now, so we're going to use one of my existing credit spreads that expire tomorrow, actually. And so in IBKR, what you do is you would go in and you would close this credit spread. And you can see right here, there is an order type. There is limit, market, stop, stop limit, trail, and trail limit. What we're going to do is we're going to do a stop limit. So now our credit spread has hit $115. And we're entering our first tier of stop loss. So we're moving our stop loss up to break even, which is 230. So we come in here and put a negative 230. The reason we want to make sure it's negative is because you want to make sure that it's a debit. You're paying money to close this out. If you see right here, before I put the negative, it's credit. and that just means you're opening up a new one. But make sure that this says debit, regardless of what platform you're on, Thinkorswim or IBKR. Make sure it's debit because you're paying money to close it out. Stop price means at what point do you want this order ticket to execute? And so we want that to be closer than the actual price. So what this means here is that if your credit spread hits $225, I will go ahead and put in the $230 option to close it out, right? If you make this $230, which means that if it hits $230, I'll put in an order for $230. There's a high likelihood that this won't close. So let's assume that the runner keeps running and now you're at 25% remaining. So you want to move your stop loss up again, right? So instead of 230, now I'm at 115. And the same thing goes with your stop price. You want your stop price to be moved up as well to $1.10. You put, once it hits 110, then the limit order will be put in for 115. And you just roll this up dynamically, right? If you want this to be 0.55 for your next one, this can be 0.50, right? You keep rolling it up and moving that stop loss closer and closer and closer. And again, this is to make sure that you protect your winnings while giving yourself enough space to let those winners run. Last thing I'll point out here, though, is you can also do a trailing stop loss. Trailing stop loss is completely fine. I just find it to be a little bit less dynamic. You can use trailing by amount or percentage. If you don't have the ability to automate the way that I did, trailing stop loss also works completely fine. And if you want to see another example of me using the same methodology to make another $1,000 a day, make sure you guys click on this video linked in the end screen right here. If you guys like the content and you guys want to build your own financial freedom, make sure you guys give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Until next time, stay safe in the market. This is Credit Spread Investing. Peace.